What up, people? Kamari Ellis here, and today we are going to talk about how I took $50 and made an investment in oil. So, if you're wondering how you too can invest in oil, this is the show for you. What's up, everybody? Kamari Ellis here. This is the Finance Rebel Show. You know, it's Wednesday. It's Wealthy Wednesdays. So, we're here to talk about money. And as always, we will talk about something in the very, very beginning. I got a story for you again. How I took $50, invested in oil, and what it's doing today. So we'll talk about that in just a minute as we get going. And of course, every Wednesday we do our live Q&A, and I answer questions at the end. So just bear with me for a minute as I take a sip of water and we get ready to go. I totally forgot to share this out. So somebody do me a favor, share this out on my personal and to a couple of the groups that you see me in. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. A couple people in the room. Coach Tiana is in the building. What's up, Coach? I ain't seen you in a minute. Coach, I need to get you on the show. I ain't talked to you in a minute, so make some time for me on a Wednesday. Don Johnson's in the building. How are you? How are you? How are you? Yes. So for y'all that don't know, go follow Coach Tiana. She is a LinkedIn master, guru, expert, all of that good stuff. I ain't seen you in a minute, so it's good to see you. But for everybody that's watching on Instagram, today's show will be a good show to watch on YouTube. But if you can't go over there, don't worry about it. We'll still keep rocking here. But just click the link on my bio, on my Instagram bio. Go to the YouTube link. You can watch it right there. I'll be putting some things on the screen so you can all see. But again, today we will be talking about my investment, my $50 investment into oil. All right. So let me stand up real quick. Feeling a little tired. For all of y'all who have not filed y'all taxes, get them in. Get them in. October 15th is the deadline. So make sure you get those taxes in. So Uncle Sam does not try to come for you. There we go. All right. So yeah, make sure you get your taxes in by October 15th. If you filed an extension earlier this year to extend it, right? Make sure you file your taxes, because remember, filing an extension for taxes is not an extension to pay. It's just an extension to get your tax return in. If you owe money, you still owe interest and penalties. So make sure you file that so you don't get even more penalties and interest. And if you owe money, get it on a payment installment agreement rather. Figure something else. If you're getting mail from the IRS, please do not ignore it, because it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. All right. So it's up to my people on IG. Richard, Hayden's here, Sam, Coach CBD, and Jack. What's up, Jack? I ain't seen you working out this week, brother. You ain't taking no weeks off, are you? All right, so listen, we're going to get into it today. And I appreciate Angela Jefferson tagging some of her folks in. Appreciate that, y'all. But let's start talking, right? Let's get to it. I'm not going to be on that long, because guess what? I'm fighting with tax returns for my clients to get them in by the deadline too. But I wanted to talk about something real quick. A lot of people think you need a whole lot of money to start investing, and that just ain't so. Many people think you need $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 to get going. A lot of people think you got to be some white guy with gray hair and a gray suit and a white shirt, white crispy shirt and a black tie. That just ain't so. You can be a bald head black guy just like me. By the way, I wasn't always bald. Always been black, wasn't always bald though. So, I still run into that, even though I talk about this all the time. How you don't, again, need a whole lot of money. You need $1, one whole dollar, and you can start your investment journey. Again, you don't need a whole lot of money. Now, when I say you need $1, that doesn't mean you put $1 in and then tomorrow you wind up rich. You snap your fingers and you poof, you're a billionaire. You're like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or Bill Gates. No, that just ain't so. That's not the lick, y'all. You put $1 in and then you keep going and you learn more and more and more until you get comfortable, right? It's just like driving a car. You start slow, start off in a parking lot somewhere, learn how to turn, learn how to park, learn how to go in reverse, master the basics, and then you can step your toe in and get even more. Then maybe you go out to a street, a non-busy street. And I'm bringing all this up because I've been teaching my daughter how to drive. Um, and so it's just fresh in my mind. But the analogy from investing to driving or beginning of driving is very, very clear to me. There's definitely a connection there. So I would say make sure you start slow. Start with $1. Don't got to do nothing whole fancy. Don't got to try to stun on nobody. Don't got to try to show off and say, hey, I got plenty of dollars. None of that's necessary. None of it's necessary. Again, start with $1. So I started with $50. Well, let me backtrack. I invested $50, right, into oil. Now, I want to show y'all something because this happened last year. Now, I've been on TV, on the news, talking about investing when the market crashed last year in February and March. What did I tell people? Keep investing. Don't stop. And as you all have seen, that the market has just been running. And again, a lot of people won't get in because they feel like they don't have enough or they feel like they don't know enough. And all you got to do is start with something simple. So I'm just going to share with y'all what I did last year real quick. It all involves oil. So I don't know if any of y'all remember, but oil fell beneath $1 last year, right? The oil that comes out the ground from like Texas and Saudi Arabia, right? It fell to under $1. Now, many of you, if any of y'all can think back to like 2007 or 8ish, when oil went up to about $140 a barrel. I don't know if any of y'all remember that. I do. Why do I remember that? Because gasoline in certain places like California was $5 a gallon. Here in PA, I think we got to like $4 or something like that a gallon. And then so I just wanted to, I'm going to put something up on the screen. I just want y'all to see it real quick. Real quick. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to be sharing the screen. So again, anybody on Instagram, go on over to YouTube. Just click the link in my bio and you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see what I'm putting up on the screen. So give me 1 second. So I'm going to put up a chart of oil. Now you should be able to see this. Oops, wrong layout. Give me 1 second. I don't use this in full screen enough. There we go. So let me know if y'all can see this in the chat. But this here's a chart of oil. WTI, which is Western Texas Intermediate. That's the type of oil we're talking about. The other oil that many people talk about is Brent crude. Now, Western Texas Intermediate is typically the oil that comes out of the United States, especially Texas, out of the I can't think of the name of it, out of the port. Let's say the port in Texas. Brent crude is the rest of the oil that's trading around the world. All right, so right now, oil closed today. It looks like at $80.60. Now, on Monday, oil came out, or it was announced in the Wall Street Journal that oil had broken $80, and it's been quite some time. Now, right now, I have on the screen a monthly chart. And so remember I said oil was $150 a barrel. That's this point right here, if you can all see it. We got to $140 a barrel. $140 a barrel in June of 08. June of 2008. That's when I said gas was super through the roof. Gasoline, that is. Super through the roof, and it was a problem. So we've seen oil go up. we've seen oil go down, right? Now, like I said, last year, oil, let me blow this up a little bit. Oil went down to below $1. And I said, wow, this is like almost perfect timing. Now you're not going to see it totally perfectly here. How it was below $1, and it was some kind of funny math, right, as it relates to the futures markets and stuff like that. I don't want to bore you with the technicalities, but oil went below $1 and it came right back. Why? Because there's millions and millions of dollars, excuse me, millions and millions of barrels of oil that are consumed every day. So, I want to say it's 20 million consumed daily. I have to look that up. But there's a lot of oil that's consumed daily. People are still driving. People are still cooking. People are still flying. People are still traveling. People are still using things that requires oil and all its derivatives. Again, gasoline, kerosene, diesel. Again, a lot of those things are still demanded. There's still a demand for those things daily. And that's why I saw that, like, all right, oil is below $1. What's going on? It's not going to stay that way. And it didn't. It wound up coming back. And so when we look at it, again, I don't know how well, if you can see it that well. Again, I don't have all my stuff reconfigured back. But right here on this chart here, you see a dip. You see it hit a low again beneath $1. Then it started to rise. So in this bar right here, it started to hit about $1. And then the current day you see here, this is $80. So this is the top right here. This is where we are right here if you're all looking on the screen. So I said, oil's not going to remain this low. Now, what's the best way for me to execute my investment thesis? So my investment thesis, y'all have heard me talk about having an investment thesis, is that oil's not going to stay this low. How do I go about executing a trade to take advantage of low oil prices right now? What stock can I buy? Can I buy Exxon? Can I buy Chevron? Should I buy something else? Some other kind of oil stock? And the reason I say oil stock is because oil trades with, or oil stocks, right? Energy stocks, rather, trade with oil. There's a large correlation. I've been talking to y'all about correlations as well, right? Look at correlations, look at the different correlations. So I said, again, what's the best way to get this? Do I want to buy, again, a Schlumberger or an Exxon, a Chevron, an Occidental? If I do that, I have to then potentially do more research. And I didn't feel like doing a bunch of research. Why? Because it was tax season last year. And I'm talking about April of 2020, right? So it was tax season and I didn't want to do all that. So what did I do? I said, I can buy an ETF. And so I bought an ETF. Now, what is ETF? An ETF is an exchange traded fund. What's an exchange traded fund, Kamari? An exchange traded fund is basically a basket of investments, right? So I can buy investments that are in energy. I can buy investments that are in telecom. I can buy investments that are in China, like all of China's stock market, or in Japan, or Brazil, or London, or rather, not London, talking about the country, England, or the United Kingdom, right? I can buy investments in those places. I can also buy investments in gold or Japanese yen as well. ETFs are like the cousin of mutual funds. But I've talked about this before. Y'all know I don't like mutual funds at all. I prefer ETFs. They're much, much better. So I said, all right, how am I going to execute this thesis, right? This investment thesis. I don't really have time to do much research because I got a bunch of taxes that I got to get out. And I said, okay, I'll buy the ETF. What ETF did I buy? Now, before I give you that, if you're on my Instagram, you probably already know. But before I give you that, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell an investment, a stock, a bond, an ETF. I'm just telling my story. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I have to give those disclaimers because some people go out and do certain things and then they get mad because they don't work out. And then they want to sue me just for sharing my experience. So this is not an endorsement, folks. This is not investment advice. All right. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. All right. So back to it. So I brought XLE. Now XLE is an ETF again from Spiders. It's an ETF from Spiders. And I said, okay, so I'm going to buy $50. Now, again, I talk about this stuff. It's not glitzy. It's not glamorous because you don't need a lot of money to get started, right? I know I could say I made a 76 or 75% return on my money, but my mission here is to let folks know that you can start investing now. You don't need a whole lot of money. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to invest in the stock market, even though mass media, financial news tries to make it seem super duper complicated. And in some regards, it can be, but you can keep it simple, just like everything else. You can keep it simple. So I had an idea. I saw oil fall to a historic low. I said, how can I invest in that? Okay. Oil, energy companies tend to follow oil. So I brought XLE, right? Again, XLE tracks all the big oil companies, the Exxons, the Chevrons, all the companies that I named that I said I don't feel like doing research on because it was tax season. I said I'll just invest in this. And lo and behold, I brought in around 22 bucks. Now, I'm talking about $22 a barrel of oil. That is not the cost of XLE at the time. The cost of XLE was about 33 bucks. Again, I shared it on my IG, but it was like 33 bucks. Now, the question you should be asking yourself, what's XLE today? XLE today is about $56. So that $50 that I invested, again, small money that everybody can get on a weekly basis. You can take and invest that money into the stock market instead of buying shoes, clothes, Starbucks, coffee, and you can make some money you can make your money make money, right? But that $50 a day is like $74, $75. So again, I took that little bit of money, and again, I'm being very intentional about saying a little bit of money. So I can just say, hey, I don't want this money to sit around. My kids say, I want to go to the movies. I want to go to the park. We were in COVID at the time, so they were walking to like 7-Eleven all the time, getting stuff. But I didn't want to give all my money to the kids, so I said, hey, I can buy this ETF that mirrors the price of oil. So again, I look up, oil's now $80 a barrel, $80 a barrel. So again, I said, what better use of my funds to put into the market? Y'all know I love the market, so it was easy for me. It was nothing to think about. But I bring up this story that you can look at things and figure out if it's a good investment or not. Again, oil went below $1. When I started to buy in, it was about 22 bucks. Is oil really going to stay at $22? Now ask yourself this question. At the time, again, this is April of 2020. Oil is about 22 bucks. Is it going to stay 22 bucks in the next 5-10 years? And when I buy stuff, I'm buying 10 years plus, sometimes forever for the most part. I'm not looking to do anything fancy. I'm not looking to trade. I'm not looking to do any of that stuff. I want to buy stuff and kind of set it and forget it for the most part. I will make some adjustments if I see fit, if it makes sense. But for the most part, I'm not really looking to do anything all over the place. I'm not looking to do anything too fancy. All right. So again, this is why, I brought this up because I thought it would be a good story to tell everybody to say, hey, you don't need a whole lot of money to get going and to begin to invest. And again, like I said, you can start with $1, right? I started with 50 on that particular trade. You can start with $1, start with 50, or start with $5, whatever you got. And then every time you get paid, put more money in. It's not that hard, y'all. It's really not that hard. So again, this is not investment advice. This is not a buy or sell recommendation. Before you buy or sell any investments, make sure you talk to your investment and or tax advisor. Remember, past performance is not an indicator of future results, meaning that stuff changes. Just because something did good in the past doesn't mean it's going to continue to do good. It might change real quick, real drastic. That's how the markets go. Now, here's the question. Syncoro Motor Group. I like that. Pay your investment account like a bill, because essentially you're paying yourself, right? I believe in when you get your paycheck, pay yourself first. Bills are always going to be there. If you don't take the time to pay yourself first, those bills will leave you broke, because bills don't care about you. But again, if anybody has any questions, this is our Wealthy Wednesday segment. Throw them in the chat. Again, I just wanted to hop on real quick, talk about this story, and let y'all know what was going on. Let's see. I want to share something with y'all. I'm still not back up to full speed yet, y'all. Once I get this new setup, I'll be able to show more of my screens and do it better. That's not what I wanted. But again, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, go ahead, throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat. We're not going to be here too much longer, but go ahead and throw them in the chat. Let's see. All right. So I want to share this on the screen real quick. Give me 1 second. And this is just a post. I woke up, saw this, and said, hey, this is interesting. I own this. Like I said, oil hit above 80. And I tell the story here. April 22nd, a barrel oil was $13.51. That's where I brought in at. Today, oil is $80. All right. I think I did this. When did I do this? Monday, I think. All right. Today is it was $50, right? It's $72. That's a 45% increase in my money. Again, nothing you're going to get rich on, right? But nobody gets rich off of just one investment typically. It's the repeated motion over and over and over again. I had people that invested in their 401ks, retired millionaires, plus the company match. That was dope too, right? So again, it wasn't just the one thing. They kept investing over and over and over again. And again, you don't need a whole lot of money. You can start with $1. You can start with 5. You can start with 50. But the biggest point is just get started. Just get started. So I know a lot of the folks that are watching have children. What better way to teach children about money than to show them what you're doing with your money? To show them that you're being a good steward with your funds, right? To show them that you are looking for gain. Now, I want to warn y'all, I'm showing y'all the upside, right? Stocks go down too. Stocks go down. It's not always up. Sometimes it's down. But again, if you have a long-term view, a long-term focus, it doesn't matter. Why? Because the U.S. stock market tends to increase year over year. All right, so I'm just showing the proof. Showing it worth $50. I brought it at like 310, so it was late in the day. Again, I was working on stocks, doing tax returns. Not working on stocks, working on tax returns. And here it just shows I brought in around here, $22. And then here it is today. Will it stay there? I don't know. But the other reason I brought it too is because XLE pays a great dividend. So to me, I get to buy it at a super low price, and I get the benefit of getting paid while I wait. So to me, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. So let's see here. Looks like we got a couple questions. By the hood gave me $5. Whoa, I'm rich, baby. Appreciate you. I'm guessing that's Jimmy behind the boards. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Oh, we got a lot of comments. I missed out on a lot of these. So my apologies, y'all. But remember, the Finance Rebel Show airs every Wednesday, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So make sure you set your reminder. I'm here at 8 every Wednesday. All right. So Coach T, Don Johnson, Angela Johnson's here. Jose's in the building. All right. Jose is also on YouTube. Appreciate that. Listen, y'all, one of the things I want to be doing is moving a lot of this stuff towards YouTube. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do. And when you go over there, drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. All right. Gemini Poppy, what's going on? What is going on? All right, let me see. Let me get through the rest of these comments real quick. All right, Coach Tiana is going to come on the show. All right, appreciate that. Hey, Nicole, how you doing? All right, Nicole says, I thought of buying it last year, but didn't know how. I didn't want a barrel to turn on my doorstep. All right, so here's the thing. The barrel, right? I didn't buy oil, right? My investment thesis was based on oil. Again, my investment thesis, my investment idea. I said a barrel of oil is not going to stay below, what is it? Again, I brought it at like $13. So I said, how am I going to profit off of the rise of oil? Because again, there's so many barrels of oil consumed every day, right? And you always hear that OPEC is doing this, OPEC is doing that. Anytime there's a disruption, any kind of global, what's the word I'm looking for? Global political skirmish, oil tends to go up. So it wasn't going to stay low like that forever. You have the history, you have the data to go back and look and say, wow, what normally happens to oil over time? It usually doesn't stay low. Now, again, that oil price that stayed low for some varying reasons, that they couldn't get to oil, and it was really weird, but we knew it was a fluke. Again, people stopped driving, people stopped traveling, everything is shut down. It was the pandemic. And so when you really start to become an investor and become investor minded, it's easy for you to recognize these patterns, but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. So I didn't buy oil. I brought the energy ETF that tracks the price of oil pretty closely. So again, the idea was oil's low. It's not going to stay low. How can I benefit from oil as it increases? And I said, oh, energy companies are very, very well correlated with oil. And so I said, all right, I'll just buy the ETF that tracks energy. So that's what happened with that. That's what happened with that. So, Nicole, you were thinking right. You were thinking right. All right, he covered me. That's why. Good evening. I like that name. Yes, folks, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Smash the like button, as all the YouTubers like to say. What's up, Debt Free Dad? How you doing? All right, Maddox 12, how are you? Hello, hello, hello. Amos Edith, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Biz Architect, how are you? Justice Junkie, how are you? Philly Amplify says, what is the name of my YouTube channel? My YouTube channel is Kamari Ellis, right? You can just find it, youtube.com/Kamari Ellis. I need to change it to the Finance Rebel. All right, so Debt Free Dad says, you familiar with DRIV ETF? Looks good. Electric cars, batteries, charging stations. I jumped in when I saw how much the Fed planned to pump into the e-cars over the next decade. Smart man. I haven't looked at it a whole lot, but I think that's a smart play. We already know the biggest purchaser in the world is the U.S. government. The government that spends the most amount of money in the world is the U.S. government. Biden has said that he wants to convert the fleet, the United States government automotive fleet, to electronic, and he wants to do it pretty aggressively. So I think that's very smart of you, debt-free dad, to look at that. And again, thanks to Jimmy and By the Hood team for doing that. All right, just showing support for him. I appreciate that. Yes, Miss Edith, like and share. Like and share. Appreciate you. Yep. And so again, I appreciate all that, all the support. It's much appreciated. Much appreciated. Now, any other questions? Because like I said, I am not staying on too long. Not staying on too long. I got taxes to do. It's late. I'm hungry. Y'all know I need my vittles. I need my vittles. So I'm not going to stay on too long. I'm not going to stay on too long. But hopefully y'all got something out of this. Hopefully y'all got something out of this. And if you're watching this on the replay and you're feeling gracious and you got some value out of this, hit my Cash App. Again, it's right there. $ the Finance Rebel. Again, the Finance Rebel. As I continue to keep making these productions better, I got to get more equipment, y'all. Got to get more lights, more cameras, some more action. And we're going to keep getting busy. KG Reynolds, how are you? DJ Stones over on the IG check-in. SK Runners 95, how are you? Naseem Hanif, how are you? St. Cora Motor says, oh man, Real Estate Coach Carter's in the building. What's up, Coach? Yes, sexy size, 47. Entertainment and educational purposes only, not an endorsement. No, nothing I say on these broadcasts are endorsements. Listen, anybody that just pumps out information and gives you leads and they don't give you any disclaimer tells you a couple of things about them. It tells you, one, that they probably never worked in a professional setting as it relates to investments and finance. Why? Because we all been compliance trained. And compliance is a BITCH. I don't want no problems. All right. Two, they need to let you know, because I was told when I started working in radio and doing stuff, every time you get on the mic, you have to be responsible. So part of the reason I don't get on here and talk crazy and say, buy this and buy that, one, a lot of people might do it. I've seen some of y'all who will see me talk about a stock and then y'all go buy the stock and won't do any research. So that's a little scary. Anytime I talk about something, I want you to do research. Don't believe me. Don't put all your faith and trust in any man, including me. All right. I'm just here to be a guide. I'm just here to say, hey, look at this, look at that. Study this, study that. I'm not here for the hot stock tips. Not here for none of that. All right. Why? Because all of that's flash in the pan. What happens if, God forbid, tomorrow I get called to be with the ancestors? Who's going to help? Who's going to be saying these type of things to you? I see Jimmy or Bob the Hood in the room. They do that, but a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't. A lot of us are cavalier and reckless with our social media following, so to speak, right? All right. So Barbie 2, how are you? I am so grown. How are you? XOTWX, Ozzy Renee, how are you? How are you? How are you? I think I got everybody. Don't want to leave nobody out. Atlanta is me. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Junior's watching detail. What's up, son? All right. Justice Junkie is checking in and tagging people in. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, go ahead. Tag a friend 2 or 3. I appreciate that. Listen, the whole purpose of doing the Finance Rebel Show is to help increase the financial IQ in our community. One of the biggest reasons our community is the way it is because, one, we don't understand the power of our dollar, right? We don't understand the buying power of our dollar. I'm going to tell y'all, I get really, really frustrated. It's a little off topic, but on topic at the same time. When I hear black folks talking about there are no good black businesses, there's plenty of them. And if you need guidance in that, just hit me up. All right. That's one way we help make our community better, is by spending money in businesses with our brothers and sisters. Period. Yeah, glad I caught you too. I've been thinking about you. Just haven't had a chance to reach out to you, Coach. Thunder, how are you? Thunder, it's funny. I shared a video clip of a question you asked today on Instagram. Thunder, Thunder exposed me. Said I'm old. Said he caught a lot of my old YouTube stuff like 7 years ago. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while, y'all. Been doing this for a while. I've been in the financial services industry for over 20 years. 20 years plus, actually. But to keep it nice and neat, I say 20. So thank you, Thunder. All right, so listen, if nobody has any other questions, this is going to be the last call. Last call for questions. Last call. Does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns? What are y'all invested in? Are y'all invested in anything? What are you looking at right now? I'm talking about oil and how I made money off of oil by buying XLE. Again, not an investment recommendation. But with all the quote unquote supply chain issues, meaning that we can't get stuff from the manufacturer to the store and to the consumer's hands, I think oil is going to continue to be a problem. With all the chip shortages going on right now, I think oil is still going to be a problem. People are driving, people are traveling more. The government just said they're going to lift even more of the travel ban for folks coming inside and outside of the country. What's that mean? More travel, more money spent, more people going to and fro, more money being out and about, more people outside, the economy continuing to grow. Nobody really gives a damn about COVID anymore. Seems like that scares over. Everybody's outside. But it is what it is. And all we can do is try to be safe, protect ourselves, protect our loved ones. And that's what we have to do. All right, last call. Last call. All right, Capture Soul says, thinking about buying a box truck. Logistics are high. Yes, they are. Smoking hot. I mean, if you just look at, I don't know if anybody's following this, right? But if you look at what's going on at a lot of these ports in California and some on the East Coast, they're all backed up. When they finally get everything flowing, people are going to need box trucks, trailers, what do they call them, slingshots or hot shots, stuff like that. They're going to need ways to get stuff from the ports out to the people, to the warehouses, then from the warehouses to the stores. So I think that's a good move. Keep me abreast of that. Keep me abreast of that. Capture Soul. All right, y'all. So listen, if you have liked this stream, this episode of the Finance Rebel Show, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Also, go on over to iTunes or Spotify. Look up the Finance Rebel Show. The Finance Rebel Show is also a podcast. So you can listen to many of these episodes when you're on the go. So I will see y'all all next time, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. every Wednesday. Excuse me. Wrong time. Getting that confused with the Black Wolf Project. I'll see y'all next Wednesday at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and shoot me a text. All right. Shoot me a text at 215-974-0058. Again, 215-974-0058. I actually respond. I'm a little busy right now, so I don't always get a chance to get back to the text like I want to, but it's me. It's not a computer. It's not fake. It is live, not Memorex. Pocket Watching, JT, what's good with you, sir? Hey, Toya, how you doing? Thanks for coming on, y'all. So I'm wrapping up. I will see y'all next time, and I'll see y'all next week at 8 p.m. Later.